We live on the book. We put it public. What's the word? We talking about the warrants today. It's Mr. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the warrants. Check in. Come on in. Grand Sheet live. Come on in. Grand Sheet done went live. Come on in. No, I'm finna drop that heat. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Oh man, what I do? Mic check 1 2 1 2. I'm live on the fire. I just went public on the book. Let's get it. Come on in. Come on in. It's Warrant Wednesday. Welcome to Warrant Wednesday. We finna go in. You already know. Grand Sheik got some facts. Kimberly Marie say peace and love, Grand Sheik. Peace and love, Kimberly Marie. We live on the fire. We live on the fire. On 4 now, finna go in. On them warrants. If you got a warrant, you need to check in. You know somebody with a warrant. You've been arrested for a warrant. Check in. Even if you might catch a warrant one day. Kimberly Adams said peace. Peace, Kimberly Adams. What's up, boo-boo? I don't know who you is, though, but what up? Peace. If you never had a warrant, it might be a situation where you might get a warrant one day. So it's best you check in. It's best you get the information now before it's too late. Because you don't want to wait till you get a warrant and then try to learn this information. What you want to do is you want to know this information. Then when it's time to get a warrant, you can challenge the warrant. All right? That's how it works. Islam. Now let's get right into it. I'm going to go right in. Ain't no small talk with y'all. We got a crowd in here. That's all I need, a little crowd. Let's go in. So the lesson coming today out of Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure. I am him. Haru said motion to squash to dismiss. We're going to talk about it's always a motion to dismiss. Why? Because we challenge jurisdiction. We challenge jurisdiction. I'm going to teach you how to challenge jurisdiction by using the motion to dismiss. Forget squashing the warrant. We dismissing the warrant in the case. All right. Let's look at a real life scenario. You get arrested with a warrant. I'm going to teach you today how to defend yourself even if you is arrested with a warrant. Okay, we talked about already in the past lives about, okay, situations happening when they arrest you without a warrant. You know that's unconstitutional on the Fourth Amendment. Let's talk about if you actually got arrested with a warrant, what that looked like. All right, we're going to go on Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure because when you catch a warrant, it's always criminal. So you got to know the proper procedure of a warrant. Okay. I am Haru say, what do you say if arrested without a warrant? If you're arrested without a warrant, it's a motion to dismiss for a violation of the Fourth Amendment. So Fourth Amendment violation deals with arrest without a warrant. All right. If you you know what I'm saying? I'm saying it's the Shrine of Circus guy. Hey, you trolls, boy, y'all funny. Hey, them trolls be hilarious. Oh, bro, though, y'all be having good jokes. I should hire y'all for a comedy skit or the circus or something. Let y'all put on some bozo noses and just entertain people, because that's all y'all like to do is entertain, bro. For real, y'all really some clowns, bro. In real life. Let's talk about it, though. So if you arrested with a warrant, right, You can challenge the warrant. It's called challenging jurisdiction. Okay? You can always challenge jurisdiction. Bros tell me it's not a fact. No, I'm not a Shriner, bro. I'm not a Shriner. I'm a Moorish American. That's not a fact. Reed Harris say, keep going, babe. Don't worry about the earring. You right, bro. I'm getting distracted. We getting off point. All right. So the arrest warrant, let's talk about it. Now, say you done been arrested with a warrant. You done caught a drug case or some type of situation. First of all, the warrant has to be put together the right way. They can't just send you no warrant or come arrest you with a warrant without certain elements being attached to the warrant. What I'm trying to say is that a warrant don't mean nothing by itself. First of all, when they come with a warrant, they supposed to have the warrant in their hand. That's number one. They supposed to have the warrant in their hand. Okay, number two is they supposed to have a complaint attached to the warrant from an injured party. The reason why you gotta have these things is because this is called due process of law. So I'm finna take y'all on a journey today to learn from the law. You're not learning from me. You learning from the law of the proper procedure of putting together a warrant. If the procedure is not followed correctly, you always got remedy for violation of due process of law. So if you don't know due process of law, the best thing to do is to go to the federal rules of procedures, criminal and civil, to learn your due process of law. Read the entire criminal and civil federal rules procedures. And then you will educate yourself on what they supposed to do. See what I'm saying? If you don't know what they supposed to do, how you gonna know when they violate your rights? Love Millions say peace and love. Peace and love millions. I love millions, billions, and trillions. Islam. Now let's talk about it. Federal rules of criminal procedure. Rule number 4 is which we looking at. All right, TikTok. If you on the Facebook and Instagram, you already know we screen sharing. All right. But what we breaking down right now is the federal rules of criminal procedure number 4. So you can pull that up. Federal rules of criminal procedure number 4 is dealing with the warrant due process of putting the warrant together. Now, I just gave you the gems right there. All right. You can pull this up and use this in court at any time. Let's talk about it. Okay. It says Rule 4, arrest warrant or summons on a complaint. A, issuance. If the complaint or more of one or more affidavits filed with the complaint establish probable cause to believe that an offense has been committed and that the defendant committed it, the judge must issue an arrest warrant to an officer authorized to execute it. Now let's break down. See, when you come to Grand Sheet Lives, I'm going to break down line by line because that's how you supposed to learn. Okay? Now you trolls is, boy, I got a lot of trolls on today. Good Lord. Hey, now let's break down this first line. It says, if the complaint or one or more affidavits filed with the complaint establish probable cause to believe that an offense has been committed. So let's break that down. Now, first of all, you can't issue an arrest warrant without establishing probable cause. That's very important to know that. Establishing probable cause is more than just a mere allegation. Establishing probable cause means that the plaintiff has standing. The plaintiff has standing. Standing means that the plaintiff who filed the complaint and affidavit attached with the complaint had damages. He actually had damages. He was actually an injured party. And this injured party filed a complaint in an affidavit, because a complaint has to be in the form of affidavit, and that's in the federal rules of civil procedures. A complaint has to include an affidavit. So these are the two elements that has to be attached when they give it to the judge. So this got to go to the judge first from the injured party. And the judge can now see if it's probable cause. So he has to make a ruling on this. Or they can go to the grand jury. But anywhere it go, they got to have evidence of what they saying, and they got to file an affidavit in the form of a complaint against you. If they don't have evidence, if they don't have an affidavit in the form of complaint, and they have to have evidence of damages, so they don't have no evidence of them being an injured party, that you injured them some type of way. They don't have any evidence of that you was the one who did it. They got to have evidence. Then they got to put that in an affidavit form, swearing on a penalty of perjury. All right, because the equity maxim says that without liability, there is no credibility. Meaning, if you don't put yourself on a penalty of perjury and swear to the truth, then your statements is not credible. Because if you lie on somebody, you got to be held accountable. So you got to put your name on the line to call out somebody else in a case to get probable cause to file an affidavit. That's the point of the affidavit, because the affidavit is a sworn testimony. It's a sworn testimony. Okay. And what happens is you take this to the judge issued a warrant. That's what they saying right here. So I'm going to continue reading. Now, it also says this: at the request of an attorney for the government, the judge must issue a summons instead of a warrant to a person authorized to serve it. Okay. A judge may issue more than one warrant or summons on the same complaint. If an individual defendant fails to appear in response to a summons, a judge may, and upon request of attorney for the government, issue a warrant. Okay, so let's break that down. What is it saying, Grand Sheik? Now, it's saying that a judge do not necessarily have to issue a warrant. Just because somebody filed a complaint against you and they have probable cause, don't mean they got to result in a warrant. They can just summons you to court, bro. A lot of stuff they saying they got warrants for can easily be a summons. So what they do in a drug case is they don't issue an arrest warrant. They issue a search warrant. Okay? Because they can't arrest you on a drug sale. They have to catch you in possession of the drugs. And they have to charge you with possession with intent. So they're going to issue a search warrant to search around so they can find you in possession of the drugs. That's how it goes. Now, if you get caught red-handed in a cell, that's different. I'm talking about if you get raided. I'm talking about a situation where you got pulled over and they search your car, something like that, and they claim they got a search warrant. All right? This is what I'm talking about. So, like I'm saying, they don't have to issue a warrant every time. Sonya Blaze say you have a constitutional right to due process. You have an inalienable right. Inalienable means it's a divine right to due process that's secured in the Constitution. The Constitution is your security agreement with public officials that they gonna protect your divine birthrights. Let's talk about it, all right? What other questions we got? Say, what? Oh, we answered that one. Um, man, so many trolls. It says, does it work the same for damaged property and not just personal injury? Yes, it works the same for damaged property. That's what I mean. If you say you got damaged property, you an injured party. You got evidence of injury, right? You got evidence of damages, like say a car accident. Say somebody hit and run your car or something. They smacked your car, but they ran from the scene. You know what I'm saying? You probably know who they is. You can serve them, but you didn't catch them at the scene. So they damaged your property. You got evidence of this. So it's an injured party. It don't have to be a damages don't mean personal injury. Injured party don't mean personal injury. Injured party means your rights been injured. Meaning like somebody might violated a contract. They don't have to necessarily send out for damaged property. They don't have to send out a warrant. They can simply send out a summons. So that's what Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure number 4 saying. What's some more questions? Let's go to Facebook. Brittany Ghostin said, Grand Sheik, what about violation of a probation? Now, that's a different situation. They put out a warrant for you for violation of a probation. Okay. What you should do is, at that point, instead of challenge, you can challenge the warrant, but that's not really type of warrant you wanna challenge. You in that situation, you want to challenge with a habeas corpus, because it's different when you on a probation. And this is why I'm saying that. When you on probation, you are still in custody. You just not in jail, but they consider you still state property in their custody. So the proper redress is that you file a habeas corpus. If they got a violation of probation against you, you know what I'm saying, they looking for you to arrest you, you need to be filing a habeas corpus or some type of writ, a petition to the federal court. You know what I'm saying? That's the proper redress to handle that. If you dealing with a probation matter, that's the proper way to handle that. Let's go back to TikTok. I am him Haru said, what if they arrest without a warrant, get hurt during arrest, then claim that's the damages? It all work like that. Now let me break that down. You get arrested without a warrant, that's a violation of the Constitution. That's number one. Now, in the midst of you getting arrested unlawfully, you resisted arrest, somebody got hurt. Okay, it's case law, and Indiana just made a law that said this. Look it up. Indiana, arrest without a warrant. Indiana made a law that said, any event you get arrested without a warrant, you have the right to resist with deadly force. Let me say that again. Let me say that one more time. Indiana state law just made, anytime you get arrested without a warrant, you have a right to resist with deadly force. I mean, you can kill a police. I'm not advocating to kill no police now. Not advocating for no violence. I know TikTok be on my ass. No, but what I'm saying is what the law say. Okay, look it up in Indiana. Arrest without a warrant. Okay. Q-Tip said lying on someone illegally is a weapon of mass destruction. Let's talk about a Q-Tip, because lying on somebody is perjury. And propaganda getting spread around is very dangerous. Let's talk about it. What's some more questions? Delay of I'm not even answer the trolls. I'm not answering none of y'all trolls today. I got them following instructions. Uh, somebody already checked you. Okay, good. Um, Richard D. Milley said the state can't be a damaged party. Let's talk about it, Richard D. Milley. That's the point I'm trying to make. The state, anytime you get charged with a case, it's always the state of Maryland, state of New York. It's never a natural person. The state has to be able to prove damages. A state is a corporation. A state is a government. So they can never prove damages. So this is what I mean by you can challenge the warrant. Because if the warrant was issued through the state, or if you got some type of case that the state picked up, come on now, you got to challenge the plaintiff. That right there is called subject matter jurisdiction. And that's what I mean by standing. Standing in capacity. Look that up. Look up the word standing in capacity. If the plaintiff does not have standing in the case, it got to be dismissed. Let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay. I am Haru said, so does it has to be an actual individual? Yes. It has to be a natural person because if think about this, if you went to Walmart Corporation and say you broke something there, who would be suing you? It would be the owners of Walmart. Walmart can't say nothing because Walmart is just a corporation on paper. Okay, so Walmart can't claim no damages. Walmart can't testify to damages. Walmart can't testify on an affidavit. So Walmart has to have somebody speak for it. It has to have some type of authorized representative. Let's talk about it. It has to have some type of attorney. Somebody has to be a natural person. Now, can you be sued by corporations? Yes, you can be sued by corporations. You can be sued by a corporation, but it has to come in a form through a natural person. Because who's gonna write the affidavit against you? I am Haru said their motion have to have a real name instead of state up. So now look at this. If you go to child support case, 9 times out of 10, child support gonna have your name versus your baby mama name, right? That's how it's supposed to look on all cases. That's why child support case, even though it's fraud, is still closer to the common law, how they handle cases, because they don't sometimes like small claims courts in some jurisdictions, not all. Small claims courts don't even allow lawyers in there. You can't even have representation in some small claims court. So that's closer to the common law. All right, let's talk about it. All right, that's finished reading. We reading from Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure number 4. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna continue reading. It says this: what a warrant must have. A warrant must contain a defendant's name, and if it's not known, a name or description by which the defendant can be identified with reasonable certainty. B. It must describe the offense charged in the complaint. C. It must command that the defendant be arrested or brought without unnecessary delay before a magistrate judge, or if none is reasonable available, before a state or local judicial officer. And D, be signed by a judge. Now let's talk about it. Now, how many times have you got arrested and ask them, can I see the warrant? This is how you challenge the warrant. I'm talking about on the spot. First of all, it's case law to say the warrant gotta be in the police possession when he arrests you. The warrant cannot be on the computer screen. The reason why is you have the right to examine the warrant before you arrest it. You don't have to just submit to any warrant because the warrant not signed by the judge. The warrant doesn't contain an affidavit of complaint or a description of the complaint. The warrant don't say that you're supposed to come to a judge automatically. It's a fraud warrant. They only got 6 hours to take you to a judge for a warrant. They violate that every time. I done got arrested for a warrant, and it was way more than 6 hours before I went to judge. But the law say, without unnecessary delay, you supposed to be brought before a magistrate. See, when you arrested on a warrant, that don't mean you supposed to go to jail. That don't mean you supposed to go to jail. That means that they supposed to take you to the magistrate so you can answer for the charges against you. That's what this law is saying. Number one saying on C. It says, command that the defendant be arrested and brought without unnecessary delay before a magistrate judge, or if none is reasonably available, before a state or a local judicial officer. We're talking about Federal Rule Criminal Procedure number 4. All right, this is the law. These are the laws. These are your due process. So if any of these things are not upheld, if they come into your car talking about you got a warrant, they ain't got it in their hand, they done violated due process of law. I done had got pulled over for speed, and they done said, okay, you got a warrant, pull me out the car, but then when I get to saying, and they found some weed, then when I say, oh, y'all supposed to have a warrant in your hand, I get the challenge in the warrant, they throw away the ticket. They say, oh, know what? You know why? Because they had to extradite me to another jurisdiction, and then they didn't want to have their names on it. They want to put it on somebody else. They don't want to have no paper trail to say they pulled me over for a warrant but didn't have no warrant. See, that's a lawsuit. You can go back and sue these folks. I got federal cases pending, man. I just filed a new one against these folks. A new one just got filed because I understand my rights. I understand my secured and inalienable rights that's secured in the Constitution. Under Act 6, it says all judges are bound to. All judges are bound to this. Let's talk about it now. How many times have you went to court and they had these things? So I'm going to give you the remedy. Number one, you need to be in the conscious college so you can understand how to fully articulate yourself. The conscious college, we extended enrollment because we having difficulties with the login payment. So we getting that under control. But in the meantime, in between time, enrollment is still open. Now that's the remedy. Now, what we show you how to do in a conscious college is how to properly file a motion to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction. But we don't just come in and just teach you no procedures. We're not lawyers, it's not legal advice, it's only for educational purposes. So what we come in and do is educate you on how to make your own motion to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. First of all, you got to understand the Constitution, supreme law of the land. You have to understand jurisdiction. It's 3 types of jurisdictions. You got personam jurisdiction, subject matter jurisdiction, and you got territorial jurisdictions. These are the only jurisdictions the court can invoke over you as a person. And you have the right to challenge each one of these jurisdictions. It says, my live been restricted for some audience because it contains So what y'all doing? Y'all reporting my lives now? Y'all reporting my live, y'all put me on a restriction. Oh my God, boy, y'all something else. You trolls wouldn't stop, huh? You really don't want the people to get this information. And see, the problem is, I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm the most censored person on the internet because they block my Instagram. Sometimes I can't even go live on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? They take my link off my page. You can't even click my link half the time. That's how you know I'm the truth, bro. That's how you know I'm really trying to give y'all some free game out here that these folks want to withhold from you. Who you know out here challenging warrants? How many people you know teaching you how to properly challenge a warrant? Huh? Now I showed y'all last couple weeks how to do it with a promissory note. That's another way you can dismiss the warrant. And now we're gonna come back again on Friday, go live, and I'm gonna talk about just because they want to put me on restriction, I'm finna keep talking about warrants till they just block me, bro. Just block me then. Let's go all the way up to the moon. It's up there with me. Now I'm finna get y'all how to dismiss the warrant with a promissory note. I talked about it a couple weeks ago, but we finna talk about it again. And if they destroy my page, I'm gonna start a new one. So come back and find me on my new page. I'm on Faithful Member on TikTok, Faithful Member on Facebook, Faithful Member on Instagram, and I'm a Faithful Member in real life. You understand me? So I'm out of here on that note. I'm gonna see y'all on Friday, 7 p.m. TikTok and Facebook. Peace and love. I came in peace and I'm gonna leave in love. Click the link in the bio if you want to get in Sunday school and you want to tap in with me. We give out free consultations, $49.99 a month. You get 4 meetings and you get the free consultations with me. You can hit me up, Grand Sheet, schedule a meeting with me, and we're going to talk about it. Islam, let's talk about it. I'm out of here. Peace and love. These folk got me messed up.